In our programs, the computer will need to remember information. And all that information that it will need to remember, we have to store in something called a variable. And a variable is just a name that we give to memory. So when you are working with a piece of information like a number or maybe a string of characters, you have to put that somewhere in the computer, and we will put that in a variable. So to create a variable, you just make up a name. So name, that would be a variable name, or maybe let's do numcats. Okay, and so this will go out into memory, and it reserves a location so that we can store information in that memory location called numcats. And when we create variables, we always want to initialize them to some default value, like starting at 0. And then I can use that variable later on. So I can do something like this: enter number of cats. And then this is an input statement which will prompt the user to enter a number of cats. We'll change it to an integer, and then we'll store it in this memory location. And then I can print that value out. You have numcats cats. So when I run this program, so run, so enter the number of cats, I'll say 10, and it says you have 10 cats. So the value that the user entered will be stored in the memory location called numcats, and then we'll print out that memory location. So what's kind of happening in memory is this. On line 2, when we went and created numcats, a location out in memory is allocated, and it's called numcats, and we put a 0 in it. So it had a 0 in there. And then when I prompted the user for the number of cats and they entered 10, then the 10 got put into that memory location, and the 0 was no longer there. And then when I printed out the contents of numcats, notice it did not print out the word numcats. It prints out what's stored in this variable. So you can kind of imagine a variable is like a cup, right? And so it's a holder, and we can put information into it.